All right, shalom, shalom. When the Hebrew Israelites hear the prophesy to downfall this wicked kingdom, and to speak about the upliftment of Yahweh Shai and his chosen people, which are the Israelites, all right? So-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, okay, and the scattering around the world. All right, so first and foremost, one of you want praise, glory, and honor
to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Wakakodash.
All right, double honors to the apostle and elders, great millstone, salutations, much over respect to Akim out there pushing this word out in truth and sincerity. All right, so let's get it, man, because it's the time of the Passover. We can get those same scriptures. You know, we start with Exodus, the 12th chapter. Okay,
This is the book of Exodus, chapter 12. And verse 3,
yeah.
Speak ye unto all the congregation of Israel, saying, in the 10th day of this month, they shall take to them every man a lamb, according to the house of their fathers, a lamb for an house. And if the household be too little for the lamb, let him and his neighbor next unto his house take it according to the number of the souls.
Right, and I already did a video on this. You know what I mean? Brothers is doing videos on this, so you should already know what the lamb represents. Okay? The lamb represents Yahweh Shai. All right, go ahead.
Every man according to his eating shall make your count for the lamb. Your lamb shall be without blemish, a male of the first year. Ye shall take it out from the
Which we can't do that now. All right, why can't we do that? Because we're under the enemy. All right, you can't get, you don't own farms. These people don't own nothing. They don't even own their homes that they're paying down now. They're paying down forever. Okay, even after they pay, you still gotta pay land tax. All right, so this place is BS. All right, the woman done been with 50 men before you. This is BS, man. Okay, this place, the kingdom needs to be completely destroyed. All right, so there's nothing pure here. All right, get me Micah 2 and 10. All right, Micah 2 and 10. All right, now you stay in Exodus. You get me Micah 2 and 10. You stay in Exodus unless you get another precept or something. But
Micah 2 and 10,
yeah,
which reads,
come on.
okay. Micah 2 and 10, which reads, Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest, because it is polluted, it shall destroy you, even with a sword destruction.
Polluted. This place is polluted, man. Not just physically, all right, but also spiritually and mentally and morally. It's all corrupt, man. All right, forget about the politics. Everyone knows. Since I was a kid, they always knew politicians were liars. That was just a comic. It shouldn't be so. All right, but this place is corrupted, man. Read that again.
God. Micah 2 and 10, Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest, because it is polluted, it shall destroy you, even with a sword destruction.
Even with a sword destruction. So if you trust in this place and your spirit is in this place, you're going to be destroyed. What does it mean to be destroyed? It means to be destruction. Okay? And who's more destroyed than the people on this sign, the Israelites, the so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans? That goes back to Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter, man. All right? But you don't get it. We're the only ones coming back. All right? What you got, Mahai? You holding something before, right?
And this is 2nd Ezra 15 and verse 6. For wickedness had exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their hurtful works are fulfilled.
Right. Wickedness have exceedingly polluted the whole earth. All right? So it's not just physical pollution, but the wickedness. That's why you can't get a lamb, bro. Try to get a lamb that's without blemish, man. You need a farm and all that, man. Okay? Barely anybody is a farmer nowadays, man. You see what I'm saying? So that's a rare thing. All right? That's a lot to good, bro.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 51 and 14. The captive exile hasteneth that he may be loosed, and that he should not die in the pit, nor that his bread should fail.
Right, because if we were sovereign, right? If we were sovereign, right, which we're going to be sovereign, again, all right, we would be able to have that. Okay? We would have, first of all, a woman would be pure. All right? The children would be in order. Okay? The food, you wouldn't be eating no GMO foods, man. All right? It just makes you sick. All right? You'd be, everything, it would be pure. Everything would be in order. It wouldn't be concrete all over the place. All over the place. But since we're in this captivity, what we're doing is we're rehearsing the righteous acts. We ain't keeping the law perfect. We're rehearsing it, man, because we're going to be heirs to the throne. See what I'm saying, Lord willing? Okay? What you got, bro? Under your house shot. What you got, bro?
Baruch 3 and 10, Okay, the Baruch 3 and 8. Behold, we are yet this day in our captivity, where thou hast scattered us.
Right, he scattered. That's why we said before that when the brother was doing the French lesson, right? That the Israelites are scattered amongst all people, man. Right? They're not just under one nation, and they don't just look like one nation. They look like all people under the earth. You got Israelites that look like so-called what they call Asian. You got Israelites that look like so-called Cushites, Ethiopians. Israelites that look like so-called white people, so-called East Indians. All right, but it's all about the spirit. Go ahead. But we all have been scattered. The Israelites have been scattered. That's why. So they laid with those other women of those other nations, and those children came out as Israelites, man. You see? And I was watching a thing today about this end up was cursing out this guy's girlfriend, which was a so-called white girl, right? But the way she's talking about, okay, that's an Israelite. All right, because I'm hearing the way she sounds like, what's that chick's name? Bad Baby. Because that's a J. That's an N dub. I'm not debating with you about that. That's an N dub. See what I'm saying? So ultimately, and I was thinking, I was like, you know what? There's a lot of Israelite women that look like foreign nations because there's more women on the earth than men. Yeah. Right? So you're gonna have a lot of that. That's why a lot of them they gravitate to so-called black men because really, go back to their past, they're really Israelites. Okay? You understand? So ultimately, we've been scattered. Okay, that goes back to what? The captivity, man. What you got, bro? Or Latino men, not just black men, or Latino or Native American men. They gravitate to one of the tribes, man. Okay, and just Judah, everything Judah. All right, like a lot of these camps, man. What?
That says here, for a reproach and a curse.
Ooh, for a reproach and a curse. Look up the word reproach in the Webster Dictionary. Look up the word reproach. Oh, you're holding a couple scriptures? Okay, hold that. Look up the word reproach, bro. All right? All right? Because that's why we were scattered. Get me that in Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter, dealing with the reproach, man, in the Bible. All right? This is what you jakes are. You jakes are in the different lands where you're scattered. You're a reproach. Okay? That's why the Israelite look. The look of an Israelite. Pass me Yahushua. Pass me Yahushua. All right. The prototypical Israelite look, which is a so-called, dark skin, whatnot. Especially this look, right, with the woolly hair, because what? The Lord, the Heavenly Father, is a so-called black man with white woolly hair. Okay, and the Son is a so-called black man with white woolly hair. That's in the description. All right. So this look on the earth is a curse right now, showing you it's Satan's children on the earth that's ruling. Okay, you go to these different lands. Let's go to Elam, right? What are they doing? They're bleaching their skin. Okay, you go to Elam. They don't even show you the dark-skinned Arabs or the dark-skinned East Indians on TV. The ones on TV, they all got light skin. That's all because they're overt with the colorism out there. They're not playing, you know what I mean? They ain't gonna play games. That's all conditioning from Esau Edom. You see what I'm saying to you? So ultimately, this look is going to be a blessing back in the earth when the Lord is back on top. All right? Let's go.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 29 and 16. Surely you're turning of things upside down.
Whoa, you're turning of things upside down. You turn everything upside down. Now this look, the royal look of the Heavenly Father and His Son is a curse on the earth. All right? How do you think they feel about that? That's that you're turning things upside down. You understand? Go ahead.
Shall be esteemed as the potter's clay.
Right.
This is Isaiah 5 and 20. Woe unto them that call evil good and good evil.
Well, they're saying it's good to have leprosy. That's why you got all the models and now they have leprosy. A lot of those models, they got actual unclean leprosy, not Edomite, unclean leprosy. And then, this is beauty. So that's showing you this is a satanic kingdom. All right? And I'm looking at this, I'm like, yo, why you even come on camera like that? All right? Not to say you're wicked if you got that, well, you'll be healed in the kingdom. It's not to be flaunted. That's like I'm missing I'm missing 2 fingers, and I'm gonna take a picture with the 2, you know?
Oh shit!
You're posing with the 2 fingers. Nah, bro, you're missing something's off. You feel what I'm saying? You gotta know that. You know what I'm saying? Just like Esau's missing melanin in their skin. They know that. That's why they go to the tanning booths, man. But it's an image of beauty in the society, man. Okay? Exhibit A. You got this Edomite chick on the wall right here. All right? That's why you got Jake putting on what? You got the Endel putting in a blonde weave in her head. she's dark as night, and she put on a blonde weave, like hold on, like yeah, maybe it grows out of her head. What's wrong with you? That's a mental sickness, man. All right. What you got, bro?
That put darkness for light and light for
They
darkness.
put darkness for light and light for darkness, even when it comes to righteousness and wickedness. All right? They say that no, the alphabet is good. The alphabet soup, you know what I mean by alphabet soup? The alphabet soup is good. I'm going to teach it to the children. I'm going to feed it to the children. No, it's not good. Okay? The Lord said it's not good. The Lord made an order, okay, for life to flourish, man. All right? He said, no, the woman could be over the man. No, that's not the right order. What does it tell you in First Timothy's, man? And then they're all Christians. They all happen to be Christians, right? But they ignore that part. But they'll go right to husbands love your wives. They'll go right to that scripture, but they'll skip over everything else, man. About Sarah calling Abraham Lord and whatnot. This whole earth is out of order, man. All right? Okay?
Go ahead. It says here, this is the book of 1 Timothy, chapter.
Yep.
The book of 1 Timothy, chapter 2, and verse 11. Let the woman learn in silence with all subjection.
Well, we don't have to get there. I ain't even going that deep. Okay. I ain't even going that deep. I just want to get that's something else? Okay.
That put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter.
Bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter. What the
word that you asked?
Oh, yes. Read that word, please. Read that word. And who has Deuteronomy? You got Deuteronomy? Beautiful. Go ahead. Matter of fact, hold that. Read Deuteronomy first.
Deuteronomy 28 and 37.
Yeah.
And thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb, and a byword among all nations.
Right, so our people have become a proverb and a byword amongst all people. What does that mean? Let's read the definition for proverb. Not proverb.
Reproach.
A reproach. Reproach. Because there's another one that says reproach in there too. It should be said reproach in there somewhere. Okay? But read the word reproach.
This is the word reproach from the Merriam-Webster. It says an expression of rebuke or disapproval. The act of or action of reproaching or disapproving.
A disapproving, right? Right? So Jake, when they speak about Jake in their house, do they approve of Jake? No. They speak against Jake. Oh, that's goddamn black. You know, them blacks. Yo? That's how Esau speak. And these other nations, man. About you Jakes, man. Alright? Or the Latinos and them spits, this and that. That's how they speak about them, man. But especially the head tribe, man. You see what I'm saying to you? So that's a reproach. Read that again.
It says the act or action of reproaching or disapproving.
Woo. Oh, when their daughters lay with Jake, when their daughters try to bring a so-called black man home, they disapprove, right? I was seeing this one thing where this one it was a Moabite, so trying to bring a Jake, and the Jake was trying to give the father a hug, and the father's looking like this nigga, get off of me, nigga. All right, so that's disapproval right there, man. All right, read that again, brother.
Con, the act or action of reproaching or disapproving, a cause or occasion of blame, discredit, or disgrace. I'll read that again. A cause or occasion of blame, discredit, or disgrace.
Right, a cause of occasion of blame, discredit, or disgrace. Right? They discredit us, oh, you can't do this, you can't write, you can't read. We did everything they said we couldn't do, we did it. But they were suppressing us from doing it. All right? That's a part of what? Reproach. You understand? A disapproval. You understand? Go ahead.
This is Ezekiel 5 and verse 14. Moreover, I will make thee waste and a reproach among the nations that are round about thee, in the sight of all that pass by. So it shall be a reproach and a taunt, an instruction and an astonishment unto the nations that are round about thee.
Right.
When I shall execute judgments in thee in anger.
Astonishment. Look up astonishment. Okay. Look up astonishment. Read that again, please.
So it shall be a reproach.
And this is another thing that makes this captivity bitter. Because you know what? In the ancient world, our people had that structure, man. All right? We were still following the law, statutes, and commandments. We had this structure. All right? Now there ain't no structure whatsoever. Because you have your top enemy over you. All right? And he made sure he brought you to a lower state. You see what I'm saying to you? Put crack in the neighborhoods. All type of... He did a lot of things to destroy Jacob. Okay? So ultimately, now you're at a low of, hand sagging, right? So you don't even have that similitude of righteousness. All right? Go ahead.
It says, so it shall be a reproach and a taunt,
Yep.
an instruction and an astonishment unto the nations that are round about thee, when I shall execute judgments in thee, in anger and in fury and in furious rebukes. I, the Lord, have spoken it.
Right, right. And this is all part of the rebuke. This thing that we're going through now is all part of the rebuke of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. And you still got people not getting right. And they see the brothers coming together and waking up around the world, and they're still not getting right. What, bro?
Khan, this is the word astonishment.
You see, I was starting off with the passive, but then the spirit goes where it wants to go, man. I tried to do it last week too. The spirit goes where it wants to go. I can't control this. Go ahead, man.
Khan, this is the word astonishment.
Yeah.
And the Merriam-Webster, it says a feeling of great surprise and wonder, the state of being astonished, amazement, something that astonishes, a cause of amazement or wonder.
Look it up in the blue letter for me, please.
Khan.
All right? Real quick. You got it already in the blue letter?
No, what was the precept?
Ezekiel 5:15.
Khan, the water.
What you got?
Pertaining to Yahweh Shai, he said that image is pertaining as that. Real quick. Galatians 3 and 13. Hamashiach had redeemed us from the curse of the law, being made a curse for us.
Right.
For it is written, cursed is everyone that is hangeth on the tree.
Right. And Jake had to go through that. Because what did Jake say when Yahushua was getting crucified? Let his blood be upon us and our children. And it was. Okay, it went from 70 AD all the way to now. You're still catching up. All right? But the scripture said what? He will correct thee in measure. So that, like, the Lord doesn't put, it's just every day is a, you got to run from the Edomite forever, for all these years, up until the chariots, A mob of Edomite, with the ropes. No. Okay, it moves, got eased up a bit.
Yeah.
But what Esau's doing right now, he's trying to put you back in a deeper shadow slavery. That's what Esau's getting ready to do with this whole MOTB thing. What you got, bro?
Khan, this is the word astonishment in the blue letter, and it reads devastation, horror, devastation, waste, horror.
Yeah, it's like, ugh. Looking at Jake like, ugh. Ugh. Look at these people. Oh, is this
Yeah,
the
okay.
Oh, go ahead and read that, brother.
Good.
Round point.
This is Lamentations 2 and verse 15. All that pass by clap their hands at thee. They hiss and wag their head at the daughter of Jerusalem, saying, is this the city that men call the perfection of beauty, the joy of the whole earth? All thine enemies have opened their mouth against thee. They hiss and gnash the teeth. They say, we have swallowed her up. Certainly, this is the day that we looked for. We have found it. We have seen it.
The condition that Jake is in. They see what condition Jake is in. All right? They see who Jake's in the hood. They see who Jake's doing what you're doing, man. They see Jake's walking by the hood. Now, it looks like wild bulls in the net. All right? Sometimes I don't want to say nothing because he might pull out something. And no knowledge is, you can look at him and say, ain't no knowledge going to come from this guy. Right? Go ahead.
This is Revelation 11 and verse 8. And their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city, which spiritually is called Sodom and Egypt, where also our Lord was crucified. And they of the people and kindreds of tongues and nations shall see their dead bodies 3 days.
Dead bodies represent what? You're in a dead state. Okay, you're in a dead state. Like Ezekiel the 37th chapter said that we will awaken in the last days and realize who we are. Okay, that we're the Israelites, man. You're not what what Esau called you, man. All right? Or what you've been growing up to think of yourself as. You're really an Israelite. And if Jake would have had that mindset from the beginning, he would have been more, they would have had more astuteness about himself, so to speak, man. He would have more excellence, man. He would be embarrassed to do certain things. But Jake has a low self-esteem, man. Okay? Jake got a real low self-esteem because what? When you think of certain things, you think, like for example, inventions, right? Most of the inventions came from so-called black men, all right? But if Jake don't know that, Jake thinks it's Edomites who invented everything. You see what I'm saying to you? So his self-esteem is not, but that's why Esau's so proud. Because everything he's been taught that he's the hero, man. You understand? Since he was a child, since he was a kid, he been taught he was. That's why Esau moves with that pride. All right. That's another reason why he moves with that pride. All right. What you got, bro?
Those a bit more.
Hosea 6 and 4. My people, no, 4 and 6. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge.
Right, for lack of knowledge. Right? When you get the understanding of this book, when you get the understanding of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, you have more knowledge than anybody on the earth. You have more wisdom than anybody on the earth. Okay? Because this is the true wisdom. Right? The understanding of wickedness is not wisdom. Okay? Go ahead.
Because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee.
Yeah.
That thou shalt be no priest to me, said thou hast forgot the law of thy God, I will also forget thy children.
Well, that's it, man. Because they forgot Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Go ahead.
This is Lamentations 1 and 21. They have heard that I sighed. There is none to comfort me. All mine enemies have heard of my trouble. They are glad that thou hast done it.
Yeah. The enemies are looking at Jacob, and they were happy at this. You see, but now they're starting to say like, oh, this ain't that great. You know, they're looking at how Esau is ruling. They're like, this ain't that great. So you got certain heathen that are saying, yo, you know what? They're actually saying that we want you to rule, man. Okay? Since they heard the truth, like, man, this sounds better. We had an Elamite come up and say, yo, that sounds beautiful. All right? Because ultimately, when we're in power, even the heathen are going to get to breed. They're going to get their own lands. We're not going to oppress them and run in their land and steal natural resources. All right? Everything's going to be righteousness, man. Okay? You got something else?
It goes on, it says, thou will bring the day that thou hast called, and they shall be like unto me.
Right. Okay, right. What you got, bro?
Jeremiah 30 and 12. For thus saith the Lord, thy bruise is incurable, and thy wound is grievous. There is none to plead thy cause, that thou mayest be bound up. Thou hast no healing medicine. All thy lovers have forsaken thee. They seek thee not, for I have wounded thee with the wound of an enemy.
The wound of an enemy. That means you can barely recover. You're down and out. All right? You get wounded by an enemy, stab you in your neck or whatever. You barely hold it on. And that's what's going on with Jake right now. All right? Jake is something. Listen, if guess what? When inflation hits, who's it going to hit the worst, man? It's going to hit Jake. Okay? Because Jake is struggling to begin with. These Elamites and these other nations, they're coming over here with 200K in the bank. You understand? A lot of these heathens are doing better than the average Edomite. You know that? When I'm looking at them, I'm like, yo, a lot of these heathen are doing better than the average Edomite. It's really just the elites that's, they're hoarding everything. The average Edomite is kind of like, maybe like a step up of Jake. A couple steps above Jake, but, these heathen, I remember this one Moabite I was working with. And he's like, hey, I go to the casino. He's like, go tell my uncle. They came over here with like 60K. I'm like, God damn, this guy's 60K. Why are you working as a dishwasher, bro? You understand? So ultimately, that's how these people they come over here with that. Boy, Jake is coming over here with nothing.
With the chastisement of a cruel one, for the multitude of thine iniquity, because thy sins were increased. Why criest thou for thine affliction? Thy sorrow is incurable for the multitude of thine iniquity, because thy sins were increased. I have done these things unto thee.
Right. That's why the Lord did what he did. All right. That's why Yahweh Shem Yahushai did what he did. Okay, because the sins were increased, because you Jakes didn't listen. What you got, bro?
Deuteronomy 28 and 43. The stranger that is within thee shall get up above thee very high, and thou shalt come down very low.
Right. The stranger that is above thee shall get up above thee very high. So you see that wherever Jake is at, it's not Jake doesn't own the businesses. There's other nations, man. Okay. It's the other nations that own the businesses. What you got, bro?
Baruch 2 and 1. Therefore the Lord had made good his word, which he had pronounced against us.
And Jake doesn't understand that that's Salaki. Jake doesn't understand that that's a curse. He doesn't understand why he can't get it. He doesn't understand there's a spiritual chain on it. He don't get it. And he don't know how to remove that, so that spiritual chain is going to be removed by Yahweh Shai. All right? He doesn't get it. Okay? He thinks that he could get himself out of that situation by doing what? By starting banks and businesses. You're not going to get under the thumb of Esau and start a business. Okay? It doesn't make sense. He owns the system. Matter of fact, he's getting ready to change the system. All right? Go ahead.
Verse 2, to bring upon us great plagues, such as never happened under the whole heaven, as it came to pass in Jerusalem, according to the things that were written in the law of Moses. Verse 4, moreover, he had delivered them to be in subjection to all the kingdoms that are round about us, to be a reproach and a desolation among all people round about where the Lord had scattered them. Thus we were cast down and not exalted, because we have sinned against the Lord our power.
That's why we were not exalted over the nations. But we are going to be, all right? Because you have a remnant coming back. And this is not what Esau doesn't want this, because he knows that. He knows once an elect of our people come back, we're going to rule over him. All right? He doesn't want that. All right? These Edomites don't want that, man. Okay? And there's nothing they can do about it. They can't do anything. Even if they get rid of us, the Lord is going to raise up other Israelites, man. And he's going to punish them for that. All right? So really, there's nothing, you can't stop prophecy. Right? Prophecy is one thing you can't stop. All right, go ahead.
And have not been obedient to his voice, unto his voice. Verse 7, for all these plagues are come upon us, which the Lord hath pronounced against us. Yet have we not prayed before the Lord, that he might turn everyone from his imaginations of his wicked heart. Wherefore the Lord watches over us for evil, and the Lord hath brought it upon us. For the Lord is in righteousness, for the Lord is righteous in all his work, which he hath commanded us.
Right, that's it, that's it. Boy, what you got, bro?
It's the book of Daniel, chapter 9, and verse 11. Yea, all Israel have transgressed thy law, even by departing, that they might not obey thy voice. Therefore the curse...
These jakes ain't obeying the voice, man. They're doing what they want to do. All right? They think it's all fun and games. The same thing as back in the day, too. They thought everything was all fun and games, man. All right? But then when that destruction comes, it's not going to be so funny, man. You know? When hell comes upon them, it's not going to be so funny. And that's when Jake is going to look for us. That's when Jake is going to look for the men of the Lord in the words of Yahweh Shem. Go ahead.
Therefore the curse is poured upon us, and the oath that is written in the law of Moses, the servant of the Most High, because we have sinned against him.
Because we have sinned against him. That's why the curse was poured upon us, man. All right? But it's going to be taken off. Get me Deuteronomy 30 and 7, huh? All right? You can get that as my boy. All right? Deuteronomy 30 and 7. All right? But now we're in the time where these curses are about to be put on our enemies. And they're being put on our enemies. All right? I see Esau every day. Esau looks through and through every time I see him. Okay?
Deuteronomy 30 and 7, and the Lord thy power will put all these curses upon thine enemies, and on them that hate thee, which persecuted thee.
And who hates us? Who hates the Israelites, man? All right? The so-called white man, the so-called Chinese, the so-called Japanese, all these heathen nations, man. All right? Every other heathen nation. All right? Especially the Edomite, especially the so-called white people, the Edomites, man. All right? That's a perpetual enmity, man. You see what I'm saying to you? So ultimately, they're gonna feel it the worst, man. All right? They are gonna feel it the worst, and there's nothing that they can do about it. Read that from the top.
Deuteronomy 30 and 7, and the Lord thy power will put all these curses upon thine enemies, and on them that hate thee, which persecuted thee.
Right? He's gonna put all those curses that you read in Deuteronomy 28 upon the enemies, man. All right? The Apostle Paul came out and said what? That Jacob's trouble is also Esau's trouble. All right? Which means what? That's a transition, right? That's a middle ground right there. You know, you got to see one coming down, one going up. That's a middle ground right there. You see? And then they're about to be taken out, man. You see how that goes? There's nothing. Listen, Esau can't stop his downfall. All right? We got this one Edomite trying to rebuke, and it's so funny. I don't know if you've ever seen it. He's red as hell. I mean, that might be actually Esau. That might actually be. He was super red, man. All right, I'm being facetious, but I'm saying he was there, and he's like, oh, yo, they think Judah is gonna overcome you, Judah. the Lord punish you. And he read it, but you could tell he didn't believe what he was saying. You could tell he was through. I don't know if you brothers seen that.
I know.
You know what I'm saying? Yo, bro, you could tell he was through. These Edomites don't believe it no more. When they come up, they're defeated. All right? Remember when remember that Edomite came up the other day? He tried to give me a hug at the end. I'm like, what are you trying to give me a hug for? He's defeated. There's nothing more he can do. All right? And you can look in their eyes and see they don't feel it no more. They don't believe it no more. All right? When they first came up, when we were first here, the niggers. You know what I'm saying? They were in that spirit. Now their spirit is waning, man. All right? Because their kingdom is waning. The Lord is making a transition, man. What you got, bro?
This is Baruch chapter 4 and verse 31. Miserable are they that afflicted thee and rejoiced at thy fall.
Yeah.
Miserable are the cities which thy children serve. Miserable is she that received thy
Believe
son.
me, right now, if these Edomites, a lot of these Edomites that's hearing this truth, if they can go back in the past and say, stop whipping him, stop! All right? Stop hanging them, stop! Why?
Please.
Because they see the punishment coming, man.
Yeah.
They see the judgment. You understand what I'm saying to you? They see it, they feel it. All right? They can feel it in the air, man. Judgment is coming. What you got? You got more?
It says,
Let's go, bro.
for as she rejoiced at thy ruin and was glad of thy fall.
They were glad at the ruin. See, where were these Edomites trying to fight for us back then? All right? And don't tell me the Civil War, because I read about the Devil's Punch Bowl, man, the other week. That was Edomites. Them Edomites were all in unison with that, man. They all hated you Jakes, man. That had nothing to do with that. That's just something they put on it to make themselves feel. They want to be the villain and the hero at the same time. You know? In the daytime, right? No, in the nighttime, they're the Dr. Octopus, the Green Goblin, right? All these different villains. They're all these villains in one. But then in the daytime, there's Spider-Man and Superman.
Oh shit!
That's someone that's bipolar, man. That's not the truth. That's them trying to paint them. They're trying to basically ease the blow, you know? Give you sugar with your medicine. What you got, bro?
It says, so shall she be grieved for her own desolation.
Right, they're gonna be grieved, man. Get me Isaiah 47. Give me Isaiah 47. What you got, bro?
This is Deuteronomy chapter 32
let me read
and verse 29. Oh, that they were wise, that they understood this, that they will consider their latter
If they
end.
were wise, they would have understood that what they were doing was gonna have to have a recompense, man. The Lord said, you shall reap what you sow. All right? That goes for everybody, including these Edomites, man. And they're gonna reap it as a nation. They're not gonna reap it as individuals. No. All Edomites are gonna reap the same thing. All right, which is slavery and destruction, and eventually extermination, according to Obadiah 1 and 18. All right, that's just the prophecy. You can't do anything against prophecy. Okay, everything the Lord said has been coming to pass, and it's going to continue to come to pass. And you Jakes that are joined with him, you're going to be thrust through. You're going to be destroyed too, man. Don't think you got away because you're an Israelite. No, the Lord has a punishment for you too. And you're going to wish that you would have came into this truth, man. You're going to that party, and you're not going to remember the party. You're not going to remember the girl with the fat ass. You're not going to remember that. That's going to be, it's not even going to come into your mind. You're going to be thinking about hunger. You're going to be thinking about, yo, what can I eat today, man? Right? When the storehouses is empty, what can I eat today, man? Why can't I get no food, man? Oh, why are these people trying to kill me? That's what you're going to think. Why is there wild beasts in the street? That's what's coming. And they're going to need protection, man. All right? All right? Especially these women. They're going to definitely need protection. But they're not going to have it. All right? Go ahead.
Jeremiah 23 and verse 20. The anger of the Lord shall not return until he have executed, until he have performed the thoughts of his heart, and the latter days ye shall consider it perfectly.
The word is not going to return. All of it is going to go out, and it's going to accomplish the truth. It's going to come to pass. Everything, man. All right? One jot and one tittle shall not pass from the law till all be fulfilled. Everything is going to be fulfilled.
That's right.
That's why we're not worried. That's why we don't, when an Edomite get an attitude, or, I don't get mad. Why do I have to get mad? Jakes get mad because they think this is it. That nigger, they lose their head. Oh my God. They lose their head, man. I'm not mad about that. I'm like, yo, Esau's at the end. He's done. All right? He had his time, it's over. Okay? And he's going right into slavery. You know what I'm saying? Call me that when I have you in slavery. Now I'm gonna put the spirit on him and say, you better call me, and now I'm gonna kill him for saying it. You understand what I'm saying too? That's the spirit we gonna have. What's going on, brother? You're an Israelite too, brother. You're one of our brothers, okay? You're Latino? Where you from, brother? Latino? Oh, you're still an Israelite. The Filipinos calling upon the name of Yahweh Shai right now.
That's
Okay?
right.
I thought you were Latino. He's our brother. Yeah, that's our brother. Huh?
You got an island called Negroes.
Yep. Oh, Negro. Yep. I mean, you could tell. You just look at the Caesar. The Caesar Israelite, bro. Go ahead. What you got, bro?
And the latter days ye shall consider it perfectly.
Woo, they're gonna consider it perfectly because now they're seeing the judgment come. This system is falling because the Lord set it up to fall, man.
That's right.
All right, the Lord set it up to fall after a certain time, and then the final blows are coming. Right? What you got, bro?
Wisdom of Solomon 5:3.
Come on.
And they repentant and groaning for anguish of spirit shall say within themselves, is this he whom we had sometimes in derision, and a proverb of reproach?
Yep.
We fools.
No. Start up. Start up from one. Start up from one.
Wisdom of Solomon 5:1. Then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness.
The righteous man shall stand in great boldness. All right? This is what we're doing. We're standing in boldness. Right? Go ahead.
Before the face of such as have afflicted him.
Before the face of our enemies in his own kingdom. All right? This is bold, man. All right? Go ahead.
And made no account of his labors.
Right.
For when they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear, and shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation.
They're going to be amazed when they see the salvation that we're going to get. All right? We know the salvation is coming. They feel something coming. They just don't know, you know? They see them UFO videos. They don't know what, I don't know, it might be fake. It might be, you know? They don't know what's up. But believe me, the elites know what's up.
And they're praying for the vision to be for good.
Yeah, right. They're praying for the vision to be for good. Okay? But a dreadful sound is in their ears. You understand? So they're nervous. And they should be. They really should be. All right? Go ahead.
So far beyond all that they look for.
Yep.
And they repentant and groaning for anguish of spirit shall say within themselves, this was he whom we had sometimes in derision, and a proverb of reproach.
Right. Then we read about what reproach meant. Yep. Right? The disapproval, the shaking the head. No. Right? That's what they had. But what they're gonna have shame. They're gonna have this. Go ahead.
We fools have counted his life madness, and his end to be without honor.
Yep.
How is he numbered among the children of the Most High?
Yep.
And his lot is among the saints.
And his lot is among the saints. They're going to understand that we are the sons of God. They're going to get it. All right? And especially the 144,000. That's going to be the government body of the world to come, the rulers of the world to come, which is an everlasting kingdom, man. Go ahead.
Therefore have we erred from the way of truth, and the light of righteousness had not shined unto us, and the sun of righteousness rose not upon us. We wearied ourselves in the way of wickedness and destruction. Yeah, we have gone through the deserts where there lay no way. But
because Jake didn't have no hope, man. In this earth, the way Jake is living, a lot of these Jakes don't got, because they don't have this truth. They don't know the truth. All right? And you try to tell them, some of the Jakes reject the truth because the Lord didn't open their mind to receive it. All right? He has to open your mind to receive this. You can't just say, I want to get it. I'm going to study till I get it. No, the Lord has to actually open your mind. Get me Ecclesiasticus 4:1, brother. All right? Go ahead.
But as for the way of the Lord, we have not known it.
Right.
What had pride profited us?
That's what Esau's going to say. These Edomites, their nose up in the Lord, right? He's going to humble them. He's going to humble them. You see what I'm saying to you? So it don't matter. Like that's why you don't get worried about that. You understand what I'm saying? You let them do what they do because they're done. You laugh at it. Go ahead.
What had pride profited us, or what had riches with our vaunting brought us?
Right.
All these things are passed away like a shadow, and as a post that hasted by.
Right. Okay. Yeah. That's it. All right. Their time is up. It says that the triumphing of the wicked is short. Okay. So they got a short. Oh, it said he shall be loosed a little season. Right. So we're in that little season. It's almost done. Okay. And we're going to be put over all these nations, man. All right. Every single one of them. All right. And we're not going to be nice to them either. All right. We're going to be dealing with them. Oh, it's in the law we can rule it against a heathen with rigor.
Yeah.
Okay? But we definitely, those 1,000 years, they're going to be feeling some rigor. Right? For what they've done to our people. Now, what you got, bro?
The precept we asked for, this is Ecclesiastes 4:1. So I returned and considered all the oppressions that are done under the sun, and behold, the tears of such as were oppressed.
Right, especially, this is dealing with the Israelites, man. Okay? The Lord's not concerned with other nations. He's dealing with the Israelites who were oppressed under the hands of their enemies, man. You see what I'm saying to you? Go ahead. The so-called Chinese, Japanese, all right? The so-called white man, the Edomites, all right? The Elamites, all of our enemies, man. Read that again from the tip of the top, bro.
Ecclesiastes 4:1.
Yes, sir.
So I returned and considered all the oppressions that are done under the sun,
All the oppressions, yep.
and behold, the tears of such as were oppressed,
Right.
and they had no comforter.
They had no comforter. They don't have comforter. The Jakes in the world don't have no comforter, man. Okay? Right? But we have the true comforter. Get me that, brother. All right? We have the true comforter. Okay? So we're not worried about that. That's why Jake has to lash out when Esau says something. They get offended. I gotta try to cancel it. There's no point. What's the point of doing that? All right? What's going on? How you doing, bro? You all right?
Yeah.
All right? Yeah, man. I'm good, man. How you doing, man? Good. All right? There's no point in doing that. All right? Because at the end of the day, Esau's going down. So when you know that, you don't have to get emotional when Esau says certain things against you. All right? Go ahead.
And on the side of the oppressors there was power, but they had no comforter.
Right, but what did the Lord say? He said you will break their teeth, right, which represents their power. So their power is going to be gone out anyway. Read that, brother.
It's the book of St. John, chapter 14, and verse 16.
Yep.
And I will pray the Father, and he shall give you another comforter, that he may abide with you forever.
Right, which is
Even the Spirit of truth.
the spirit of truth. When you understand the truth of these scriptures, you're not worried about anything, man. You go through the world with a different confidence about you, man. Because you're not worried about nothing, man. You know what's going to happen. We don't have to guess, all right? When a C-19 hit, these people were in, oh my Lord, I'm going to take out my will, write my will, let me hug my kids. Because they don't know, they don't understand. All right? What else you got, bro?
It says, even the Spirit of truth,
Yep.
whom the world cannot receive, because it seeth him not, neither knoweth him, but ye know him, for he dwelleth
Isaiah 6 and 9, please. Go ahead.
with you and shall be in you.
Right. So they can't receive this truth. The majority of the people cannot receive this truth. There's only a few elect people, the elect around the world, that are scattered even amongst other people, right? That look like other nations, but are our people. Okay? There's certain elect among them that are going to receive this truth. Okay? And they're going to be sealed, and there's nothing anyone can do from getting them to not understand. Oh, if it be at all possible, they might deceive the very elect. Get me that possible. Go ahead, bro.
Verse 26. But the Comforter, which is the Holy Spirit, whom the Father will send in my name, he shall teach you all things.
Yeah. The Holy Spirit doesn't make you just speak gibberish like in the church, and just bouncing around. That's not the true Holy Spirit. Okay, that's an image of that's a demon. That's a demon on these people. All right, go ahead.
He shall teach you all things and bring all things to your remembrance,
Right.
whatsoever I have said unto you.
Yep. Yeah, he will bring all things into remembrance. Right? So we're remembering now that we're Israelites. Okay? That the Lord, Yahweh Shai, is a so-called black man, right? We're remembering that we are all brothers, these tribes here, the Gadites, the Reubenites, and so on and so forth. All right? So this is all coming to our remembrance. All right? What you got, bro?
Right quick. This is Isaiah 28 and verse 12. To whom he said, this is the rest wherewith ye may cause the weary to rest.
The weary to rest. Who's more weary than the people on this side? Which are the Israelites, man. All right? We've been catching hell, since we've been under the other nations, man. Especially Esau, Edom. Okay? The top enemy. All right? Who's ruling right now? Go ahead.
Wherewith ye may cause the weary to rest, and this is the refreshing, yet they would not hear.
Ooh, the refreshing. We're gonna be refreshed in the kingdom. Get me Revelations 21. What you got, bro? Okay, go ahead.
This is the book of Matthew 24, verse 24.
Yeah.
But there shall arise false Mashiach and false prophets,
Yeah.
and shall show great signs and wonders.
Yeah.
And so much that if it were possible,
Yeah.
they shall deceive the very elect.
If it were possible, they would deceive the very elect, but it's not possible for them to deceive the elect. It's impossible. You understand? So the Lord has a seal on the elect where they're gonna get it, where they're gonna understand it no matter what. You see what I'm saying? What you got, bro? Oh, you got Isaiah 6 and 9?
Yeah.
Read that first. You have something first? Yeah, read that first.
Real quick. Romans 8 and 14. For as many are led by the Spirit of the Most High,
Yeah.
they are the sons of the Most High.
Right.
For we have not received the spirit of bondage again to fear,
Yeah.
but ye have received the spirit of adoption, whereby we cry, Abba, Father.
Yeah, whereby we cry, how about because we're being adopted back into the Father. That's why it says reconciliation. Because there was a time where the Lord cast us off. Get that in Hosea the first chapter. Get that in Hosea the first chapter. The Lord cast out the Israelites. But he's coming back through his son. He's reconciling us back to the Heavenly Father. Right? That's where you get the term the Gentiles that will be delivered. Those are the Israelites. Those are not other nations. Okay, the Lord was never dealing with the other nations. Get me Psalms 147. What do you read? What do you have right there? Hosea, yes, please read that.
Hosea chapter 1 and verse 10. Yet the number of the children of Israel shall be as the sand of the sea,
The number,
which cannot be measured nor numbered. It shall come to pass that in the place where it was said unto them, ye are not my people, there it shall be said unto them, ye are the sons of the living power.
Right, there's going to be a place where we're not going to be called the sons of God. Okay, but it's going to switch. But no, up in that chapter it says how he named the daughter and his son different things. Lo Ami, Ruama, get me that. Because that's a symbol of what would happen to the nation of Israel. It was all symbolic. The reason why Hosea dealt with a harlot, because that's what the nation of Israel was doing. They were playing a harlot against the Heavenly Father. Go ahead.
Verse 8, Hosea chapter 1 and verse 8.
Start at 6. Okay. Start at 6.
Verse 6, and she conceived again and bare a daughter. And the Most High said unto her, call her name Lo Ramah, for I will no more have mercy.
Hosea 1 and 6, bro. Show Hosea. You there? You got it? You got it? Hosea 1 and 6? All right, good. Go ahead.
And she conceived again and bare a daughter. And the Most High said unto her, call her name Lo Ramah, for I will no more have mercy upon the house of Israel.
Right.
But I will utterly take them away.
Right.
But I will have mercy upon.
Meaning what? We would go into captivity under these other nations. All right? Go ahead.
But I will have mercy upon the house of Judah, and will save them.
Oh, and that was only dealing with that specific one was only dealing with the 10 tribes. So the tribes that are under here, all right, from Simeon to Issachar, okay, because Judah represents the house of Judah. If you read the scriptures, it speaks about Judah, or Jacob is representing the house of Judah, which would be the Benjamin and Levi, Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. Okay, because there was a separation. Okay, go ahead.
This is the book of 2 Kings, chapter 18.
See, you have to understand the history to understand the mystery. As the apostles always say, if you don't understand the history, you'll never get this book, period. I don't care how much studying you do, you'll never understand what everything is speaking about. Go ahead.
This is the book of 2 Kings, chapter 17 and verse 18.
Yep.
Therefore the Lord, Yahweh, was very angry with Israel and removed them out of his sight. There was none
Where's
left.
his sight? Where is his eyes at? The land of Israel. So we were moved out of that land. And what happened in 70 AD? Where did we go in 70 AD? We went into the wilderness, right? And we went mainly into the west coast of Africa, mainly. Speaking about these 3 tribes, Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. And then we were taken into slavery by our enemies, which the scriptures speak about that. Get me Joel, the 3rd chapter. All right? All right, go ahead.
It says, there was none left but the tribe of Judah only.
All right, meaning what? Judah, Benjamin, and Levi.
Also, Judah kept not the commandments of the Lord their power, but walked in the statutes of Israel which they made. And the Lord rejected all the seed of Israel and afflicted them and delivered them into the hand of spoilers until he had cast them out of his sight.
Spoilers, these other nations. Okay, that's why we were under, even when the Lord was on the scene, we were under the Romans. We weren't sovereign. Okay? So then when the Romans took us out in 70 AD, all right, or around 67 AD, all right, we fled into the interiors of Africa. They starved us out. All right? So ultimately, we fled into there, then we fled to North Africa, and some of us went into Europe. That's where you get the Moors from. That's where you get the Crusades. Okay? There's a lot of history that they whitewash. Okay? That's really jake. That's really so-called black. All right? Go ahead.
So this is Revelation 12 and 14. And the woman were given 2 wings of a great eagle, that she might fly into the wilderness, into her place where she is nourished for a time and times and half a time.
That was speaking about Africa. We fled and we were nourished there for a time.
From the face of the serpent.
From the face of the serpent, which is the Edomites. The Romans are Edomites. You can look at the history, they'll tell you the Romans are Edomites. But they'll act like, no, but we're not Edom. You're Edomites too. All right? There's just a different, they just call themselves different names, man. It's like you call yourself French. What does that mean? They made that name up. All right? They're really Edomites. Okay? Just like we're Israelites. You have us calling ourselves Black, Latino, Native American. That's not our nationality. Okay? We have a nationality that was given to us by God, by the Heavenly Father. They have a nationality that was given to them by the Heavenly Father. Every nation has one. But the reason they did that is because they're trying to hide their nationality. So the prophecy, so people don't find them out. All right? Salakia, what you got? You got something right there?
This is the book of Isaiah chapter 60 and verse 2. For behold, the darkness shall cover the earth, and gross darkness the people. But the Lord shall arise upon thee, and his glory shall be seen upon thee.
Right, get me Joel the 3rd. Oh, you got something else? Go ahead, Salakia.
Isaiah 25 and 7. And he will destroy in this mountain the face of the covering cast over all people, and the veil that is spread over all nations.
Meaning the truth is going to come out. Okay, that veil that was covering them, the truth is going to come out. And that's coming out through us. All right, through the prophets of the Lord. All right, go ahead.
Joel 3 and verse 1.
Yep.
For behold, in those days.
Joel 3 and verse 1. Go ahead.
For behold, in those days and in that time, when I will bring again the captivity of Judah.
Meaning what? He's going to take us out of captivity. Okay, meaning what? We would have to be in captivity before this happens. Go ahead. Okay, this is going to show you that those people in the land are not the true people. Go ahead.
And Jerusalem, I will also gather all nations, and will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat, and will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage Israel,
right,
whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land.
Right, so Israelites are scattered amongst all nations. Okay? So we're going to be gathered, like it says in Isaiah 11:11. We're going to be gathered and we're going to look like other nations. Jake doesn't just look like one thing. We look like all nations under the earth. But our spirit goes back to the Israelites. It's very simple. Okay? It's all about the seed of your father. Go ahead.
Verse 3, and they have cast lots for my people, and have given a boy for an harlot, and sold a girl for wine, that they might drink.
That's slavery. They sold us into slavery, trading wine and guns or whatever else they were trading for us. Go ahead.
Yea, and what have ye to do with me, O Tyre and Zidon, and all the coast of Palestine? Will ye render me a recompense?
Right, because who was responsible for trading us to the so-called white man, the so-called Africans, right, which are the Hamites, all right, and then the so-called Arabs who made the boats. Go ahead.
And if ye recompense me swiftly and speedily, will I return your recompense upon your own head, because ye have taken my silver and my gold, and have carried into your temples my goodly pleasant things. The children also of Judah and the children of Jerusalem have ye sold unto the Grecians.
The three tribes, Judah, they sold unto the Grecians, meaning the so-called white people. All right, Greeks are so-called white people, right? They took us and they sold us to them. That's all it means. All right, that's when we were set up on cargo slave ships like sardines. All right, defecating on one another. All right, and really a lot of the history is so brutal. They used to. That's why the sharks follow that trail to this day. They changed their course because they used to shoot the slaves over. If he was sick or if he broke a leg or whatever, they would shoot him over to feed him to the sharks, or if he disobeyed something. So these Edomites have a very cruel history that they do not want to speak about. But the Lord has recorded everything, and He's a power of justice. So all these things have to be answered for. Every single thing. From the time you touch the Native Americans to this time, everything is going to be answered for. All right? Because the thing is this, you touch His people. That is the worst part. If you touch Moab, he might have hit you with something. But if you touch the Israelites, bro, you're gonna get it terrible for that, man. You got that? Read that.
Zechariah 2 and verse 8.
Yes, sir.
For thus saith the Lord of hosts, after the glory hath He sent me unto the nations which spoiled you.
Yes.
For he that toucheth you toucheth the apple of His eye.
We're the apple of the Lord's eye. We're considered the woman of the Lord. All right, spiritually as a nation. When you have a woman you love and someone does something, evil to ties her up, beats her, rapes her, what are you gonna do? It's okay, I love you, brother. Let me give you. No, the Lord is gonna bring judgment, man. right? That's how it works. There's an action and then there's a reaction. That's how the world works. Okay? There's a little bit more. Finish on Joel, brother.
Joel 3 and verse 6 again.
Yes, sir.
The children also of Judah and the children of Jerusalem have ye sold unto the Grecians, that ye might remove them far from their borders.
Meaning what? We're in the eastern hemisphere, which our borders were in Israel. We were in the eastern hemisphere. Now we will move to the western hemisphere as a people. Go ahead.
Behold, I will raise them out of the place whither ye have sold them, and I will...
Where ye have sold them, showing you that the Israelites would be slaves and sold as slaves. All right? In these latter days. It's not speaking about back then. All right? Go ahead. Oh, give me Deuteronomy 20 and 16. Go ahead.
And I will return your recompense upon your own head, and I will sell your sons and your daughters into the hand of the children of Judah, and they shall sell them to the Sabians, to a people afar off.
That's called payback. Okay? He said, what you did to them, I'm going to have them do to you. All right? That's payback. And it's going to be, but that's going to be in righteousness. Yep. We're not doing it in wickedness. We're doing it in righteousness. All right? That's like when someone commits a crime and they have to pay for the crime. That's not, the person who's giving them the judgment is not wicked. It's the payment for what they've done. That's right. All right? Then the Lord said to Cain, if thou doest well, shall not you be accepted? But if you do evil, sin lieth at the door. And they've done evil. Go ahead.
I got some real quick.
Oh, that's some word, brother.
This is 2 Thessalonians 1 and verse 6.
Yep.
Seeing it is a righteous thing with the Most High to recompense tribulation to them that trouble you.
So it's a righteous thing with God to recompense the tribulation to them that trouble you. So if someone does you wrong, it's righteous. The Lord is looking at it like, hey, you're going to get what's coming to you. He's not looking at it like just love him. No, you have to understand the context of when these things are speaking about these things. When you're dealing with your brother, yes, you forgive him. You know what I mean? But then there's certain things where the Lord said you forgive him, right? But then you have to bring, let's say he offends you, right? You bring him before another brother, just tell him, listen, you offended in this and this, and then you bring him before the congregation, you offended, and if he still doesn't get him, you cast him out as an heathen now. You understand what I'm saying? But you work with brothers. That's what it means. You work with brothers. Okay? It's not speaking about the enemies as in the other nations. It's always speaking about Israelites when it comes to those contexts. Turning the other cheek and so on and so forth. Go ahead.
Joel 3 and 8 again. And I will sell...
And you know what's funny? Our people are doing the exact opposite. Right? When it comes to their own people, if a Jake, let's say a Jake steps on your shoe and something else, they'll fight you in the club, right? They'll fight you for little things. All right? But when it comes to the Edomite, the so-called white man, oh no, it's okay. Bro, you know how much countless people I've seen where like an Edomite would go in and shoot up a guy or out of racism and hate, and then the woman would come on the TV or the brother would come on the TV. I forgive him right away. The dude ain't even got time to mourn. You talking about you forgive this guy because he's an Edomite, bro. If it was his own people, he would have hatred. You understand? It's a psychological thing. All right? So you have something? Yeah, go ahead, brother.
2 Ezra 11 and 41.
And by the way, all these people are brothers, man. Okay? The so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, we're all brothers. Okay? Of different tribes. And the Lord did it on purpose that we all look different because the Lord is a power for variety, man. All right? What you got, bro?
2 Ezra 11 and 41. For the earth has not judged with truth, for thou hast afflicted the meek, thou hast hurt the peaceable, thou hast loved liars, and destroyed the dwelling.
Well, okay, let's deal with what happened to our brothers, the Native Americans. Okay, the tribe of Gad and Reuben. What happened? They came, they showed them how to do agriculture, right? They fed them, right? And how did they repay them? They stole the whole land. They said if any land that's not owned by a white man is free land. And Gad was offering them land to deal with. They said, no, don't worry, you can have this patch. They were generous. Matter of fact, in Christopher Columbus' biography, he said these people are so generous, we could be able to enslave them with 9. So that's a sadistic mind. You understand? But they have statues of this guy everywhere. You think the Lord looks at this and is happy at that? You're gonna there has been consent this with a thief. Go ahead, read that again, brother. Hold on, let me read this again real quick. Go ahead.
Verse 42, I'll read it again.
Yep.
For thou hast afflicted the meek, thou hast hurt the peaceable, that has loved liars, and destroyed the dwelling of them that brought forth fruit, and cast down the walls of such that did.
Destroyed the dwelling. That was their dwelling. This is their dwelling. Now it's a graveyard, and they're on the reservation suffering. Just like the rest of the tribes. Just like the rest of the, I got it. Just like the rest of the tribes, right? You understand what I'm saying? Just like the rest of the tribes. Okay? Go ahead.
And has cast down the walls of such as did thee no harm.
Oh, as did thee no harm. Because they weren't looking to do you harm when you first came. But then they started to see you were doing them harm. All right? Go ahead.
Therefore is thy wrongful dealing come up unto the highest, and thy pride unto the mighty.
Habakkuk, the 2nd chapter.
The mightiest also had looked upon the proud times, and behold, they are ended, and his abominations are fulfilled.
You see, well the proud, they're about to be ended. When the Lord comes back, when Yahushua comes back and delivers the elect, it's going to be ended. And it's going to be peace that's going to flourish on the earth again. The earth is going to be brought back to its rightful state in the Garden of Eden. It's going to flourish. All right? And we're going to get to live. There ain't going to be no disease, especially amongst the Israelites. And even the other nations, they're going to really have no diseases either, because everything is going to have its rightful nutrients. All right? It's going to be, bro, it's going to be far beyond what we can think about, man. Especially for our people, especially for the Israelites. You've been on the low, you've been on the bottom, but you're going to be raised up. The last shall be first, and the first shall be last. Okay? Go ahead.
Finish up. Verse 46. That all the earth may be refreshed, and may return, being delivered from thy violence, and that she may hope for the judgment and mercy of him that made her.
Let me explain something. The end times is dealing with two nations. When you read the Bible, the end time is dealing with two nations, Jacob and Esau. All right? Jacob is the Israelites, and Esau is the ones that are ruling now, the so-called white people, as you would call them. Okay? For the most part. All right? So at the end of the day, there's going to be a transition. You have 2 Ezra 6 and 9? Yeah. Read from 7.
Come. 2 Ezra 6 and verse 7. Then answered I and said, what shall be the parting asunder of the times, or when shall be the end of the first and the beginning of it that followeth?
See, Ezra is asking the angel, when is going to be the end of times? Because Ezra was asking all kind of questions. All right, I probably would have been like Ezra. I've been so curious about, yo, what about this? What about that? What about this? You know, the angel got at a point. The angel said, "Listen, that's enough." You know, but he was asking all kind of questions. All right, he's like, when is going to be the end? And he said, "Listen, let me break it down to you. Go ahead."
Verse 8, and he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him, Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau.
See, he told him and went back to Jacob and Esau. When Jacob and Esau were born of who? Isaac. Okay, that was the representative of Jacob and Esau is the representative of the righteous and the wicked. The righteous people and the wicked people. That's what it represents. Okay? Regardless of how people feel about it, that's what it represents. That's the truth. Go ahead.
Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau, for Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth.
Meaning the kingdom of heaven is going to come through Jacob. So Esau's the end of the world. So this is the last kingdom to rule, and it's ruled by the Edomites. All right, and he gave them a long stretch too. The Lord is balanced because he gave Esau a long stretch, going back to the Greeks. And they had the ancient Greek Empire, then the Roman Empire, and then we were ruling for a time period. That's the deadly wound that was healed to the beast, that speaks about in Revelation. And then we came back and then they came back into power in the Renaissance period. And what did they do when they first came into power? They started to deface the images and made up white Jesus monsters. Okay, so they came with that deception as soon as they came out. All right, but they are the end of the world. So this is the end of the society. That's why it's crumbling the way it's crumbling. Okay? Get me, who has the Revelation 6 and 9 that I asked you? You have that?
I have that right.
You have that?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead, brother.
This is the book of Revelation, chapter 6, and verse 9.
Yep.
And when he opened the fifth seal, I saw under the altar the souls of them that were slain for the word of the Most High.
No, excuse me, 6 and 4. 6 and 4. 6 and 4. Go ahead.
Revelation chapter 6 and verse 4. And there went out another horse.
That's right. Go ahead.
And there went out another horse that was red.
Yep.
And power was given to him that set thereon to take peace from the earth.
Yep, to take peace from the earth. That was the power that was given to these Edomites, to take peace from the earth. Go ahead.
And that they should kill one another.
And that they should kill one another.
And there was given unto him a great sword.
They had the First World War, the Second World War, right? That was the most people that died in the war ever in history. That was like hundreds of millions, man. Okay, when you do the whole tally, man. Go ahead.
And there was given unto him a great sword.
Right, it's given unto him a great sword, man. All right, so that sword was given unto the Edomites, man. All right, that sword was given unto the Edomites. It wasn't given unto no other nation. Okay, it was given unto the Edomites. All right, matter of fact, give me Genesis 27.
Genesis 27.
And with a blessing.
Genesis 27 and 38. And Esau said unto his father, Hast thou but one blessing, my father? Bless me, even me also, O my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, Behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, and of the dew of heaven, and of the dew of heaven from above.
Meaning what? He controls the whole planet. Right? He controls the whole. They have embassies, the American embassies in every part of the earth. Right? Their hand is in everything. Okay? They control all the earth. Go ahead.
And by thy sword shall thou live.
And by your weaponry shall you live. And that's how Esau's been living and ruling. Through his weaponry. It's okay, go ahead. Alright? That's how he's been living, through his weaponry. Alright? When he came to the Native Americans, he didn't come with peace treaty. He came with weaponry. Alright? He came with death. Go ahead.
And shall serve thy brother. And it shall come to pass, when thou shalt have the dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck.
Yep.
And Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him.
Yep.
And Esau said in his heart, The day of mourning for my father are at hand.
Yeah.
Then will I slay my brother Jacob.
Then will I slay my brother. And so that's still in his heart to this day, man. All right? He's still at that slaying Jacob phase. Okay? That's where he's at. You know, but that's his blessing. So you can't get mad at Esau for being a devil, for being a murderer. That's what he's all about. That's what he was created to be. All right? Give me Romans 9. What you got?
Ezekiel.
Okay, go ahead.
This is the book of Job, chapter 9 and verse 4. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked.
Yep.
He covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he?
If not, where and who is he, man? If he ain't the wicked, who is he? Don't tell me Japheth. Japheth is insignificant in the earth. All right? Don't tell me Ham. Ham has flies on his eyes right now. Ham is busy. Okay? All right? So the wicked is you Edomites, man. So-called white. All right? Start calling yourselves Edom. When you go to your job resume, start writing Edomite. Right? Stop lying to yourself. Just write Edomite. Don't write I'm Caucasian, I'm European. Write Edomite, man. Let's tell the truth, man. It's time for truth to flourish on the earth, man.
Romans 9 and 21. Hath not the potter power over the clay? Of the same lump to make one vessel unto honor and another unto dishonor?
That's it. And that's what happened. The Lord made the vessel of Israel, of Jacob, Yaquah, the vessel unto honor. All right? And Esau a vessel unto dishonor, man. All right? And I gotta give young Jake props because Jake was agreeing with him. He wasn't bucking up. All right, so that's a seed. That's a seed, man. Lord willing, he gets it. You know what I mean? Lord willing, he gets it. He comes back, man. Because you know his life is changed now. Because I'm gonna eat, the burger's gonna taste different tonight. You know, the burger's gonna have a different taste tonight. You know, it's gonna have a different taste, bro.
He had an Esco bottom too.
Yeah? Oh, yeah, I didn't see that. But yeah, man. But you see, but that's how it works, man. It's all about that seed being planted, man. And it's just really, we can't do anything. You know, we can beat it in and bring all the history out, the maps. It's not going to make a difference. All right? Because it's all about Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. Go ahead.
It says, what if the Most High, willing to show his wrath and to make his power known, endured with much long suffering the vessels of wrath fitted to destruction?
The vessels of wrath fitted for destruction, which are you Edomites. That's what? The son of perdition. Give me second. Oh, you got to go and read that.
2 Thessalonians 2 and 3.
Isaiah 34.
let no man be deceived. Salakia. Let no man deceive you by any means. For that day shall not come, except there come a falling away first, and the man of sin be revealed,
Yeah,
the
he's
son
been,
of
he's been
perdition.
revealed, man. He knows what's up. He knows his stuff. So now his thing is, you see what happened with Esau when he's revealed on that level? He's just gonna be the devil. He's just gonna go all into being the devil. All right, that's why that guy said, they worship Malachi, they follow Malachi basket. He just said anything, the worst thing come to his mind. You understand? Because he's a liar, you know, and he's gonna get into his nature. He's being the liar.
When you put an animal back against the wall,
Yeah.
they ask him what choice but to fight.
He's gonna attack. Even if it's a squirrel, it's gonna attack. All right. So that's where Esau is at now. Go ahead.
Verse 7, that's like verse 4, who opposed and exalted himself above all that is called the Most High,
Yep.
or that is worshipped, so that he, as the Most High, sitteth in the temple of the Most High, showing himself that he is the Most High.
What's that? What did that guy Yusef Noah say? Right, which is the advisor, the top advisor of Paul Schwab. Right? What did that devil say? He said, not some sky, not some God in the sky, but a cloud in technology. So that's pride, man. That's pride, man. All right. So the Lord's watching that. And Esau's he's going deep with pride now. You know, he's knee deep in pride now. You see? In the 50s, you probably would have heard there would have been an uproar. And now Esau's because he knows the prophecies. He knows his end. So he's like, listen, let me just be the devil, because they believe, like the elder, the brother, the reporter Cuomo says, they believe that there's a higher power. They believe in the Bible, the words of the Bible is true, but they believe they could go around the Heavenly Father. They believe there's a way to get around Heavenly. So these guys, they're not that bright. You know? What you got, bro?
This is the book of Isaiah chapter 34 and verse 5. For my sword shall be bathed in heaven. Behold, it shall come down upon Idumea and upon the people of my curse.
Well, what's that sword speaking about? It's speaking about the mystery. Alright? It's going to be cool. It's going to go up into the outer atmosphere in the heavens, and it's going to come back down and come down upon what? Mainly America. Okay? It's going to be 200 million warheads, as the prophecy says. Okay? Go ahead.
To judgment. The sword of the Lord is filled with blood. It is made fat with fatness, and with the blood of lambs and goats, with the fat of the kidneys of rams. From the Lord, for the Lord has a sacrifice in Basra, and a great slaughter in the land of Idumea.
Right. So yeah, the Lord's coming to take out these Edomites. You got something?
Come. This is Ezekiel 28 and verse 2. Son of man, say unto the prince of Tyrus, thus saith the Lord power, because thine heart is lifted up, and thou hast said, I am God, and sit in the seat of God, and in the midst of the seas, yet thou art a man and not God, though thou set thine heart as the heart of the Most High.
Right. So though Esau is trying to act like he's the Heavenly Father, all right, or that he's in that position, the Lord is going to show him he's not. Man. The Lord is going to bring him down. Man. All right. What you got, bro?
Isaiah 14 and verse 11, thy pomp is brought down to the grave.
Right, and the pomp deals with his pride, right? Go ahead.
And the noise of thy vows, the worm is spread under thee, and the worms cover thee. Verse 12, how art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nation?
And that's it, man, because Esau done destroyed many nations, man. Okay? So he's going to be brought down to the ground, and it's going to be like, whoa, you know? Go ahead, brother. Let's switch up gears.
This is the book of Isaiah, the book of St. Matthew, chapter 13, and verse 3. And he spake many things unto them in parables, saying, Behold, a sower went forth to sow. And when he sowed, some seeds fell by the wayside, and the fowls came and devoured them up. Some fell upon stony places, where they had not much earth, and forthwith they sprung up, because they had no deepness of earth. And when the sun was up, they were scorched, and because they had no root, they withered away.
Okay, get to the
breakdown. This is the book of St. Matthew 13 and 18. Hear ye therefore the parable of the sower. When anyone heareth the word of the kingdom and understandeth it not, then cometh the wicked one, and catches away that which was sown in his heart.
Right, so that's why sometimes we'll be speaking to someone and then a demon will pop on someone to come and interrupt, man. You know what I'm saying? Because that's Satan pulling that person away. All right? And Satan is not just going to come one time. Satan will come there, and then when they go home, it's going to be Satan. It's going to come there too. All right? You understand what I'm saying? And then you understand it might hop on their wife, it might hop on whatever. So at the end of the day, yo, if they're not of the elect, they're not going to make it. They're not going to make it through. All right, go ahead.
It says, and catches away that which was sown in his heart. This is he which received seed by the wayside.
Right.
But he that received the seed into stony places, the same is he that heareth the word, and anon with joy receiveth it.
Yep.
Yet hath he not rooted himself, but dureth for a while. But when tribulation or persecution arises because of the word, by and by he is offended.
Yep.
He also that receives,
Yeah, he's offended, right? Like when persecuted. Like he might be in the truth, he might even end up in the camp. All right? But then when tribulation hits him, all right, that's when he starts to get shaky, right? He gets persecuted, when he gets rebuked, whatever the case may be. All right? He starts to get shaky. All right? Why? Because he was not rooted. All right? He was not rooted. That's why you have to get rooted. That's why these people listening to 5 different videos, they always come with some stupid comment or some stupid question because they don't understand. All right? They haven't got the full breakdown. Go ahead.
it says, verse 22, he also that receives seed among the thorns is he that heareth the word, and the care of this world and the deceitfulness of riches choke the word, and he becometh unfruitful.
Yeah. All right? You could be up, listen, man, you get $3 million, right? You might not be up in camp as much as you can, bro. You might not be studying because you'd be worried about getting a massage, all right? Partying. You got 5 chicks trying to come over. So you never get rooted. You never get fully into this truth. Well, you get rooted, but then you get choked out. All right? What?
Verse 23, but he that receives seed into the good ground is he that heareth the word and understandeth it, which also beareth fruit and bringeth forth some 100-fold, some 60, some 30.
Right, that's it. All right, and we don't need to chase nobody. Like, yo, brother, you're an Israelite jump in the middle of the street. The Lord is going to direct who he wants when he wants it. That's the end of the day. We do that as men, but at the end of the day, we don't need to do that. We don't need to worry about that. Oh, I should have said this. It doesn't matter. You said what the Lord wanted you to say. Okay, so he got what he needed to do. Right? Even when I first heard this truth, I didn't necessarily say, oh, we're going to make a garment now. No, but I had to process that, man. I had to process that. I was like, I knew it was the truth, but I had to process it. Okay? Yeah, bro, my whole world changed, man. Shit, a demon came on me first. A demon came, and then I, you know what I mean? Then I was like, yo. Then I got clear, like, okay, I gotta get the truth. You understand? The truth will bug you out too, because I'm telling you, this shit done shook up the whole earth. All right? Everything I thought, you know what I'm saying? You're like, yo, my whole life is a lie. Right? It was that. Okay? You heard the apostles speaking, and it's like, yo, I think the first time I heard them was when WorldStar was first created. Okay? And I heard them speak when maybe that You're a Slut video or something like that. One of my brethren was showing me, oh, look at this. I was looking at it. I was like amazed, but I started searching on YouTube, you know? I was like, yo, what are these guys? You know what I'm saying?
The virgin that showed you is in the truth.
No. What?
This is Romans 14.
He's in the streets. Go ahead.
Good. Romans 14 and verse 5. One man esteemeth one day above another, another man esteemeth every day alike. Let every man be fully persuaded in his own mind.
Well, he has to be fully persuaded in his own mind. You know, you can't force a man to be persuaded, man. To be persuaded, right? You can't force them. They have to find it good. The Lord is going to move on his own time, man. All right? You got something else now?
1 Corinthians 3 and verse 6.
Yeah.
I have planted, Apollos watered, but the Most High gave the increase.
That's it. That's the Father, Yahweh Shai. He gives the increase, man. All right? He gives the increase. So we're just messengers, man. Okay? What you got?
John 10 and 27. My sheep hear my voice,
Yep.
and I know them, and they follow me.
Well, that's right. So the ones that are of Yahweh Shai, they're gonna understand and realize this is the truth. You know, the others are gonna scoff. They're gonna walk by. Some of them are not even gonna perceive what's coming. To some of the people that's walking, it's wah 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 wah. You know,
Yeah.
some of the people is literally wah wah wah. They don't know what's going on. They just know something's going on. Like they don't know. Even when they're hearing, they stop and they don't listen. Wah wah wah. It's the silence of Charlie Brown. Okay? Because the Lord didn't open their mind. But if the Lord would have opened their mind, wah, 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 and then Esau the devil. Oh! You see what I'm saying? It's bullshit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's how it is, man. Okay?
Isaiah 7 and 9, Isaiah 6 and 9, and he said, "Go and tell these people, hear ye indeed, but understand not,
Yeah.
seeing indeed, but perceive not."
Right, so they, even though we're telling them, they don't understand it because the Lord, you know, made it where they can't get it, where they don't receive it. Go ahead.
Make the heart of this people fat, and their ears heavy, and shut their eyes, lest they see with their eyes, and hear with their ears, and understand with their hearts, and convert and be healed.
See, the Lord doesn't want everybody. The Lord wants a certain people, all right, a certain amount. Give me Matthew 13, all right? What you got, bro? What you got, Shaquat? Oh, you get Matthew 13? Okay, read it.
Matthew 13 and verse 9. Who hath ears to hear, let him hear. And the disciples came unto him. And the disciples came and said unto him,
Yep.
Why speakest thou unto them in parables?
Yep.
And he answered and said unto them, and he answered and said unto them, Because it is given unto you to know the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven, but to them it is not given.
So it wasn't given to everybody. Give me John the Baptist. All right? It wasn't given to everybody. All right? So the Lord understood that. That's why he spoke in parables to most of these people. Because he understood there was an elect, a chosen people out of the nation of Israel that's going to understand it. Okay? But everyone was not going to get it. So why waste your time? It's not really up to us who gets it anyway. It's up to Yahweh Shai. You could tell, you say how you want. You can bring out the max documents. You could go bring out 80 precepts. But if the Lord didn't open their mind, they will never receive it. Okay? Read that again, please. Isaiah 6 and 9, please. Read Isaiah 6 and 9. But hold that for a second. Read that.
This is the book of St. Luke, chapter 3,
Yep.
and verse 7. Then said he to the multitude that came forth to be baptized of him,
Yep.
O generation of vipers, who hath warned you to flee from the wrath to come?
Right, because they had a lot of them wicked scribes and Pharisees that came along too. So he said, "Oh, wicked generation, who has told you to flee from the wrath to come?" Meaning he doesn't want everybody. The Lord is not dealing with everybody. He's dealing with a certain elect. Go ahead.
Bring forth therefore fruits worthy of repentance.
Worthy of. You see what it's about? It's about the inward man. It's not about the outward appearance, man. And that's what a lot of them jakes is into, man. They're about the outward. If they don't got a flashy suit or whatever the case is, man, all right, or chain or whatever, they're not going to accept it, right? If it's not Puff Daddy telling or an Edomite, right, a so-called white person on the TV with a suit, they're not going to receive it. Okay, and that's how the Lord wants those who are going to hear the word, regardless of how it comes. Okay, because the Lord never sends those type of people. All right. Get me where it speaks about what came ye out to see. All right, and read that, please. Done.
Isaiah 6 and 9.
Right.
And he said, "Go and tell this people."
Let me ask these people something. Brother, you're Native American, right? Yeah. Right. You see this sign here? Yeah. This is a prophecy. Yeah. Okay. Get me the prophecy. Okay. This side that you see is a plank. The scriptures read about us creating a plank in the latter days and our people coming back to who they are. Okay? You are part of our people. You are our brethren from different tribes. We look different. I know there's tribes amongst tribes. Okay? That's why you got different tribes amongst people. But we're all one people. Okay? And the Lord is calling our people to come back, the elect of our people to come back to the truth and to be healed in the spirit. Because we've been broken. That's right. Okay? On purpose by the Lord. Because we disobeyed, man. You see these? These are called fringes. You wore fringes in your culture as well. Okay? Why? Because this goes back to the Bible. This is a biblical commandment that our people were commanded to wear to remember the law, statutes, and commandments. Get me the fringes, please, Brother Kushab. All right? I'm going to show you something. All right?
This is the book of Numbers, chapter 15.
I know it's uncomfortable for our people to be special, but we're going to tell you, man. Because people hate, no, they always want everyone to be, no. This is, the Lord is dealing with our people. Okay? And we're a royal people. All right? Go ahead.
The book of Numbers, chapter 15 and verse 38. Speak unto the children of Israel and bid them that they make fringes in the border of their garments.
This is a fringe.
Throughout their generations.
Throughout their generations.
And that they put upon the fringe of the borders a ribbon of blue.
A ribbon of blue, right? So this is a culture that was passed only to the Israelites. No other nation had the fringes. This was a sign of who an Israelite was. All right? And there's remnants of Israelite language within a lot of the Native American language. Like there's one tribe that speaks as ash, as fire, which is a Hebrew. That's ancient Hebrew for fire. And they say it the same way because that goes back to that time. All right? Salakia, go ahead.
It says, and it shall be unto you for a fringe that ye may look upon it and remember all the commandments of the Lord,
Right.
Yahweh.
That's right.
And do them.
That's right. What you got, bro?
I'm still reading that.
Isaiah 69, Salakia. Do you have
37, Ezekiel?
get Ezekiel 37, yeah, the prophecy of the plank, okay? And also get how they came over, how Gad came over here with the rest of the tribes. Because that's in the history too. And they took it out purposely so you wouldn't find out who you were. They told you came from the Bering Strait. That doesn't make no sense. You're telling me, okay, think about this now, right? The earth froze so much, right? That the ocean froze, that they could walk over the ocean. Wouldn't everyone die? Wouldn't everyone die if you could walk, if it got so cold that the ocean froze? You know how cold it has to be for the lakes to freeze? If the ocean froze, you wouldn't be able to walk over, no, you would die. All right? Plus, where are you getting the food from? Go ahead. That's the stories that Esau makes up. Go ahead, Salaki. You have that second essence?
Yeah, I thought it came from Bigfoot.
Say that. Hey, you are kind of big. You might come from Bigfoot. You might come from Bigfoot. Go ahead.
This is Ezekiel 37 and 11. Then he said unto me, Son of man, these bones are the whole house of Israel. Behold, they say, our bones are dried, and our hope is lost.
Our hope is lost. All right, go ahead.
We are cut off for our parts.
Right.
Therefore prophesy and say unto them, Thus saith Yahweh, Behold, O my people,
Malachi 1.
I will open your graves and cause you to come up out of your graves.
This is what you're seeing. This is an opening of the graves in the spirit. It's spiritual. It means the opening means we're coming back to who we are. Okay? All around the world, we got brothers, Gadite, Native American brothers, all around the world, so-called Negroes, all around the world, so-called Benjamites, West Indians, Puerto Ricans, Mexicans, so on and so forth, coming back all around the world doing exactly what we're doing through the spirit. This is a great awakening. Go ahead.
I will open your graves and cause you to come up out of your graves and bring you into the land of Israel. And ye shall know that I am the Lord, Yahweh, when I have opened your graves, O my people.
And he's going to put us back in our land. And that's going to be in the kingdom of heaven. Okay? And we're going to be on top of all other nations. All right? Go ahead.
And brought you up out of your graves, and shall put my spirit in you, and ye shall live. And I shall place you in your own land. Then shall ye know that I, the Lord, have spoken it, and performed it, said the Lord. Right? The word of the Lord came again unto me, saying, Moreover, thou son of man, take thee one stick.
Right, the stick. When you look at this word stick in the Hebrew, it's plank. Okay? Go ahead.
And write upon it, for Judah and for the children of Israel, his companions. Then take another stick. And write upon it.
Judah and his companions. Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. The tribes were, the kingdoms were split. Okay, you have the southern kingdom, so-called Negroes, West Indian, Haitians, and then you have the rest of the kingdoms. All right, the so-called indigenous tribes. All right, go ahead.
And then take another stick and write upon it, for Joseph, the stick of Ephraim, and for all the house of Israel, his companions.
Right.
And join them one to another.
Now we're joining the stick together. We're coming back together as a people. Go ahead.
And they shall become one in thine hand.
They shall become one in thine hand.
And when the children of thy people shall speak unto thee, saying, Wilt thou not show us what thou meanest by these?
Right, mean by the sign. What do you mean by the sign?
Say unto them, Thus said the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, behold, I will take the stick of Joseph, which is in the hand of Ephraim, and the tribes of Israel, his fellows, and will put them with him, even with the stick of Judah, and make them one stick, and they shall be one in mine hand.
That's it. One plank. Go ahead.
And the sticks whereon thou ridest shall be in thine hand before their eyes.
Yep. And that's what it is. All right. And this is what you're seeing in front of you. This is a prophecy of that great awakening. All right. What do you got there? There's one with your brothers. Go ahead.
And I will make them one nation in the land upon the mountains of Israel, and one king shall be king to them all, and there shall be no more two nations.
Because Yahweh Shai, our Lord, that's the king of our nation.
Right.
Okay? That's on this side. Yahweh Shai, our Lord, that's the king of our nation. He's from the tribe of Judah. Okay? He's going to rule over all of the whole nation. Okay? In righteousness. All right? And he's the one who's going to deliver us too. He's the one who's going to deliver us. Okay? Because he loves us. Huh? All right? Well, we got Malachi. Malachi 1:1. Read Malachi 1:1. I just want to read this for you real quick. Read
Malachi 1:1.
Yep.
And it reads, the burden of the word of the Lord to Israel.
You're getting cold. You're getting cold, eh?
by Malachi.
Go ahead.
I have loved you, said the Lord.
I've loved you, said the Lord. Yep.
Yet ye say, wherein hast thou loved us?
Now, because look at the condition of our people. He's like, how do you love us? Look at the condition we're in. That's what the Lord is saying. That's what Malachi said. Jacob was saying. Our people were saying. Go ahead.
Was not Esau Jacob's brother, said the Lord?
Yep.
Yet I loved Jacob, and I hated Esau, and laid his mountains and his heritage waste.
And Esau is the so-called white people. That represents the Edomites. The so-called white people represents the Edomites. That's who he kept sent over us. Because what? Because we disobeyed. But that's coming to an end. Okay? He's going to take those curses out for us and put them on our enemies. Go ahead.
And I hated Esau, and laid his mountains and his heritage waste.
And he hates Esau. Okay, go ahead.
For the dragons of the wilderness.
Yep.
Whereas Edom said, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places.
Yep.
Thus said the Lord of hosts.
Right.
They shall build, but I will throw down.
Well, another thing I want to show. I want to show you how you got here too. I want to show you that. But before you leave, I want to show you that too. How the 10 tribes got here. But go ahead. Read Jeremiah verse 17 and 4 first.
Jeremiah 17 and verse 4. And thou even thyself shalt discontinue from thine heritage that I gave thee, and I will cause thee to serve thine enemies, and the land which thou knowest not, for ye have kindled a fire in mine anger, which shall burn forever.
This is why that happened to us. Because we kindled a fire against the Lord. Okay? But the Lord will never cast off his people. That's what oh, hold on. Didn't Paul say, has the Lord forsaken Israel? God forbid. I myself am an Israelite from the tribe of Benjamin. That's what he said. He's never going to forsake him. But he punished him. Just like you have a son, he does something wrong. What are you going to do? You're going to tell him, no, don't do that. You're going to spank. If you got to spank, you're going to spank. You say no. All right? Say it again.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, you're right. Right? In this society now, you say that they want to lock you up, but you know that's the right way. The scripture, that's the right way. That's why these kids all this
I almost went to court one time because of that.
Yeah.
And I told a social worker, I said, maybe you need that too.
That's
If
right.
you cannot be corrected, I said, you cannot ever be a servant of God.
Hey.
Because pride, as soon as pride got into your life, you just became God's enemy.
That's the facts.
People don't appreciate it. They don't appreciate me at home because I myself used to be a drunk, an alcoholic, a fornicator. I did it all, man. You know?
Right.
God turned around and he turned my life. He turned me around and put me. Well, like there's some Christians that used to tell me when I was in the world, they used to say, we're praying for you guys.
Right.
You know, they hated me when I used to be a drunk, but they hated me even more when I got saved white because I told them the truth.
Right.
Today, man, I'm not very popular back home, but it doesn't matter.
But they hated him.
Most important of all is that if I do His will,
Yeah.
that's all that matters.
Well, you're a son of God, you know, and they hate to see the sons of God come back. All right. So that's a beautiful thing. We're all in the world. We're all in a low position at one point. Okay. Because right now, really, as a people, we're in a low position, but we're going to come out of that. This is what the good gospel is all about. The good news. Listen, good news for somebody means bad news for somebody else. Point blank, period.
That's why, lately, I've been having. You see, I'm a musician. I love playing the hymns. I love hymns. the songs that are happening now doesn't ring my spirit. Right? It has to be, the songs have to be filled by the Holy Spirit. So for me to do these things, I start playing worship songs at home. I told my wife, I should get myself, like I feel like about 5 years ago I was prophesied by a man named John Ramirez, former Satanist. He came to me, I didn't know him at that time. He just came, he said, sir, I said, yeah, I'm here. God is going to use you, but he's going to have to break you before that happens. It wasn't like God is going to bless you, money, he's going to give you all of the riches, like what's happening right now, like Joel Osteen, this guy has everything. But he said,
prosperity doctor.
Yeah, so he told me, that God is going to break you. And once he breaks, he's going to mold you, remold you in his image. When that happens, you better get ready because he's going to send you places where, like nobody wants to go. Like today,
It's a rock.
I feel like buying some instruments and just playing out the streets.
Whatever the spirit, whatever your spirit wants to do, you do that. You know what I mean? But what do you have there?
I have the second address. If you want.
Yeah, read the second address for me. Read the second address. You had to. I just want to add on to the point you made real quick. I just want to add on. Read that real quick.
Ecclesiasticus Chapter 2 and 1. My son, if thou come serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation.
So you're gonna go through things when you serve the Lord. Go ahead.
Set thy heart aright and constantly endure, and make not haste in time of trouble.
Right, because that's that fire that's purifying you. When you put gold in the fire, it becomes out more pure. But if it doesn't go through the fire, it's gonna always have those impurities. So you have to go through the fire.
Right, jealousy, everything comes out.
Right, all of that. All right. So that's it on that. Now read the second Ezra. I want to get into that real quick.
This is second Ezra 13 and verse 40.
Yep.
Those are the 10 tribes which were carried away prisoners out of their own land.
So you have to think of the indigenous people. Okay, these are the 10 tribes. All right, from Ephraim on down. Go ahead.
Out of their own land in the time of Hosea the king.
Right. Because there was a split. Okay, there was a split between the kingdoms, between our kingdom, Judah, and that's why we fled into Africa. That's why we have more dark skin, because we were dealing amongst those. You know, we kept that dark skin, but then they kind of mixed with Esau. They mixed with the so-called white man, so they got lighter over time. Go ahead.
Come. And the time of Hosea the king, whom Shalmaneser the king of Assyria led away captive, and he carried them over the waters, and so came they into another land. But they took this counsel among themselves, that they would leave the multitude of the heathen and go forth into a further country where never mankind dwelt.
Where never mankind dwelt. That was here. That was here. They took the counsel back then in captivity in Assyria, because we went into Babylon, right? The kingdom of Judah went into Babylon, all right? And then the kingdom of Israel, went into Assyria captivity, okay? So when you were in the Assyrian captivity, because you went first, because Israel, the kingdom of Israel went off first, right? You said, listen, we're going to go somewhere else, away from the heat. Go ahead.
Come. Verse 42.
And those Assyrians were putting hell on Israel too, right? Go ahead.
Verse 42. That they might dare keep their statutes, which they never kept in their own land. And they entered into Euphrates by the narrow passage of the river. For the Most High then showed signs for them, and held still the flood.
Okay, because that was through the Horn of Africa, where there's a lot of flooding going. But the Lord, what he did was he held the floods for them to pass over. Okay, go ahead.
Till they were passed over. For through that country there was a great way to go, namely a year and a half.
Where were they going that took a year and a half? This side of the earth. Go ahead.
And the same region is called Asareth.
Right. Which means another land. Okay? And the heathen. All right? So that's just to show you your history, to show you that, we got all kind of documents we can show you on. But I just want to leave you.
This whole thing was a lie then, huh?
Oh, the whole?
Where I came from was a Bigfoot?
I guess it's partly true. All right, brother? All right, brother. You take care, right? You take care, right? You have a good day, eh? All right?
Oh, by the way, the first thing she did was not cold.
Not cold. Okay, she just wants to go. She don't like us very much. Shalom. That's it, man. Good.
Jay.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and 49. The Lord shall bring a nation against thee from far, from the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flieth. A nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand. A nation of fierce countenance, which shall not regard the person of the old, nor show favor to the young. And he shall eat the fruit of thy cattle and the fruit of thy land, until thou be destroyed, which also shall not leave thee either corn, wine, or oil, or the increase of the kind of flocks of thy sheep, until ye have destroyed them.
Yeah. Yo, it's amazing to me, man, because when I heard this, I was like, yo, it's just amazing how y'all didn't want to hear it. It's like, yo, you would think, you know what I mean? You want to know this, like, you know what I'm saying? But it's just amazing to me, bro. Like, Jake, there's a lot of Jakes, you know, especially the women don't want to deal with this. It's like, you want to be in this condition? Anyways, go ahead.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter.
We'll find out, man. Go ahead.
Chapter 1 and 20, wisdom crieth without, she uttereth her voice in the streets. She crieth in the chief place of concourse, in the openings of the gates. In the city she uttereth her words, saying, How long, ye simple ones, will ye love simplicity? And the scorners delight in their scorning, and fools hate knowledge.
Fools hate knowledge, man. Right? That's why they hate him that rebuketh in the gate, because that's that knowledge coming to them. Right? Go ahead.
This is the book of Isaiah 59 and verse 16.
You see, if this word was being published on a news station by a newscaster, they'd be like, yo, this is deep. All right? But since it's coming from Jake, all right? It's not just regular Jakes. You know, nothing fancy, nothing, you know what I mean? They can't receive it.
What? Verse 23, turn you at my reproof. Behold, I will pour out my spirit unto you. I will make known my words.
I'm mentioned in the Bible, like I'm mentioned in the Bible. That should shake up your whole life.
What? I will make known my words unto you, because I have called and ye refused. I have stretched out my hand and no man regarded. But ye have set at naught all my counsel, and with none of my reproof. I also will laugh at your calamity. I will mock when your fear cometh. When your fear cometh. When your fear cometh as desolation, and your destruction cometh as a whirlwind, when distress and anguish cometh upon you, then shall they call upon me, but I will not answer. They shall seek me early, but they shall not find me.
They're not going to find the Lord. So people are going to want to get with it, but it's going to be too late. You know? It's going to be the close-off point, you know? Oh, matter of fact, let me, what you call it? Amos 8 and 11. Right? It's going to be a close-off point, man. They don't understand the urgency of this. There's urgency in this thing. Right?
This is the book of Amos, chapter 8 and verse 11. Behold, the days come, said Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai, that I will send a famine in the land. Not a famine of bread, nor a thirst for water, but of hearing the words of the Lord.
Right. That's coming. Right?
And they shall wander from sea to sea, and from the north even to the east. They shall run to and fro to seek the word of the Lord, and shall not find it.
They're not going to find it, man. They're not going to be able to find the prophets. They're going to be able to hear and understand. This is the time for the understanding. Okay? Later on, we're not going to be giving you noise. It says that in that time, the prudent shall be known. Okay? What you got, bro?
Proverbs 1 and 26. I will also laugh at your calamity, and I will mock when you fear coming.
Yeah, the brother just read that. That's for the Spirit. That's for the Spirit, man. And sometimes things got to come off 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, man. Drilling in your head. You know what I'm saying? What you got, bro?
This is Amos 5 and 13. Therefore the prudent shall keep silence in that time, for it is an evil time.
It's an evil time that's coming. Okay, it ain't no good time. All right, it's an evil time coming. You understand? Which means what? Bad time. Right? A lot of death, famine. You know, those things are coming. But with that comes the famine of the word. That's when all hell's really good. When the prophets, when they start to make the prophets not come out, bro, that's when you better look out, man. You better look out, bro. They say, no, we can't come out. And let's say the spirit just gets on your pastor. Listen, we ain't going out. That's shit. That's yo. Expect sudden destruction. All right. See. All right. We gonna get the last scriptures and close up.
real quick. This is the book of Ecclesiastes chapter 12 and verse 1. Remember now thy Creator in the days of thy youth, while the evil days come not, nor the years draw nigh, when thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them.
Yep, that's it. All right. What you got?
Ezekiel 3 and 26. And I will make thy tongue cleave to the roof of thy mouth, that thou shalt be dumb, and shalt not be to them a reprover, for they are a rebellious house.
Yeah, we're just going to be observing. We're going to be moving around the earth and observing. Okay? We're going to be breaking down that team, man. Every now and then my cousin will ask me, yo, what is breakdown? I said, listen, bro, it's not for you, man. They get offended when you say that, man. What do you mean it's not for me? Why not for me? Well, I've been telling you this for like 10 years, bro. Like, at some point, you got to understand, you're not a, you know? The seed is with it, brother.
This is
real quick. Sirach 5 and 7. Make no tarrying to turn to the Lord, and put not off from day to day. For suddenly the wrath of the Lord cometh forth, and in thy security thou shalt be destroyed, and perish in the day of vengeance.
Man, it's gonna get gruesome out here. It's gonna get real gruesome out here. What you got, man?
This is Sirach 18 and 24. Think upon the wrath that shall be at the end, and the time of vengeance, when he shall turn away his face.
Damn, we shall turn, meaning what? He's not, his prophets ain't going to be out here. All right, that's the time of vengeance. What was that?
Sirach 18 and verse 24.
Woo, we got one more time, then we'll close out.
It says, think upon the wrath that shall be at the end, and the time of vengeance.
We're at the end, and there's going to be great wrath that's about to come, man. This, everything you see happening before you is all a dominoes being placed, right? It's going to all tumble into a great judgment. These people don't see it, man. All right, go ahead.
When he shall turn away his face.
Yeah, and that means what? His prophets are taking out the streets. So anyways, with that, first and foremost, I want to give all praises to and honor
To Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Makakodash.
double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Salutation, much love and respect to you out there pushing this word out in truth and sincerity. All right? Shalom.
Shalom.
All right?